About a month ago on the channel, we covered a Halo fan project by the name of Contingency, if you saw that video, where we got into the early access testing and we were able to hop in and kind of check out what the game was. And recently they just put out a new patch. This new patch adds in 2 new maps along with adding some new animations and just general quality of life updates. So I figured this was a good reason to hop back in and check it out. All right, so here's Asgard, which obviously, as you can tell, is a remake of Valhalla, which is definitely one of the more popular or at least more memorable maps from Halo 3. There's definitely people who didn't like it, but you know, that's for a different video. For me, it's pretty sweet because I love seeing these classic Halo maps make their way into Contingency. Obviously, they also work on maps that are unique to Contingency itself, but for me, it's always cool to have a nice mix of, you know, unique maps and then also maps that are classic maps that I'm aware of. So right now we're playing Infection, and I'm dog shit apparently at Infection. So one thing that's pretty funny is if you hit these man cannons, there's fall damage in this game. So you get a little too high. If you're the zombie, you just die. If you're not a zombie, you still take fall damage, but you don't die. But pretty funny. I know they're planning on at least fixing that for the humans. I don't necessarily know what their plan is for zombies, but I think it's pretty funny. Contingency, as far as I'm aware so far, still doesn't have vehicles, so I assume later on, with this being a bigger map, this would be a prime map to have vehicles on it. But obviously, I'm not going to talk for the devs, but you know, I would assume this is a map that will later on have vehicles, but you know, currently doesn't. So for the most part, it's a pretty faithful remaster of Valhalla, although you can tell right there, the base is definitely different than it was in Halo 3. And the back side that you guys probably saw before I died there, the back has been kind of expanded a bit and it's a lot bigger. So definitely a little bit different, but from what I can tell, it still plays pretty well. It's kind of hard to judge these things because I'm not really playing like any type of competitive environment or matchmaking or anything like that, where it's just where I feel like you start to notice things being imbalanced. But in a situation like this where you're kind of just hopping into lobbies and just chilling and playing, I mean, right now I'm playing Infection, so obviously it's definitely more chill, but I haven't noticed too many issues with balance or anything like that. I say that as the people are up on the structure and I can't hit them as the zombie. That's pretty much an Infection specific problem though. It is kind of a cool touch right here. So normally, you know, if you play Valhalla, this is going to be where the little river is in the water, and they've decided to, it looks like, completely dry it up. And so it's an interesting touch. Kind of gives it its own like unique little flair, you know, because when you're adding these maps into your game, whether it's, you know, a fan-made game or it's whatever, you know, it's nice to put your touch on these maps so they're not just one-to-one recreations, although you can obviously go that strategy too. So the other map that hopefully we'll hop into after this one is another remake that's been added into the game, because like I mentioned earlier, this patch most notably added in 2 maps for the testers to test out, and so that's this one, Asgard, which is a remake of Valhalla, and then the other map is a remake of Warlock from Halo 2, or Warlord if you played H2A, or Wizard if you're a CE person, and I disconnected. Alright, so this is Overlord, which obviously we were just talking about. This is the remake of Warlock, or Warlord, or Wizard if you're a CE person. It's a remake of that map from, you know, a variety of games. To me, this reminds me the most of the Halo 2 or the H2A version, not the CE version. Obviously, the version in Halo 2 is a remake of the CE version, so I mean, it's the same layout and everything, but the looks of this one remind me a lot more of the Halo 2 version, so I assume that's probably more what they took inspiration from. We're playing some SWAT right now, which I'm actually kind of getting dumpstered a little bit. I've been having some difficulties kind of getting a sensitivity that I like. I talked to one of the devs, and currently, if you're playing mouse and keyboard, or controller for that matter, you can only set the sensitivity in full integer increments, so 1, 2, 3, 4. But that is something that they have kept in mind and hopefully will change in the future, because if you're someone like me, you like to really hone in on the sensitivity that you like, so you can, you know, get it perfect, and that's hard to do when it's only full numbers. Obviously, there's always the option where you just change your DPI or do something like that, but I'm lazy. I like to leave my DPI at 800 all the time, and I just adjust all my game sensitivities to feel the same rather than swap DPI or anything like that game to game. I swear to God, every time I punch someone in this game, I just die. SWAT's honestly one of the game modes in this I've had more fun playing because it's easier to pop off some nice multi-kills, you know? So far, like all the game modes have been pretty fun. Obviously, we covered a lot of the game modes that are in this game in the last video, and this video I kind of wanted to focus more on the new maps, and the sniper rifle actually got a really cool facelift. It has some nicer animations, so I'll show you guys those before the video's over too. Oh, no, I'm whipping. All right, we're gonna pull the sense down. All right, here we go. We lowered the sense. Now we're ready to frag out. Ah! I thought that was a lift, but it's the teleporter. They kind of look the same, unless I'm just blind. Oh. Dang, we got pooped on a little bit. All right, so I wanted to show you guys Asgard a little bit more before we hop out, because the server kind of crashed or I got kicked out while we were in it. And then I wanted to show you the new sniper animations because they're pretty cool. So obviously, if you remember, one of the big things that we talked about in the last video about this is that a lot of the guns were just missing animations. And that's just because it's in super early alpha. So the sniper rifle looks a lot cooler now. So it has this mega kick now when you shoot it, which takes a little getting used to, but it really makes it feel powerful when you're killing people with it. And then, you know, it has like full reload animation, which looks nice. It has melee, so it kind of has the whole shebang now. It feels fun to shoot, and the melee looks good, and the reload animation looks really cool. I just wanted to show you guys the sniper and a little bit more of Asgard before we hop out of here. But yeah, this is Valhalla. We were talking a little bit about changes, and so this side of the map over here, you know, it's mostly the same. It's got the cave system that you're probably familiar with from Halo 3. One thing that I've noticed, and I don't know if this is just a my PC thing, but it is very, very dark in the shadows of the map. Obviously, the Pelican is gone. They've kind of just replaced it with, I don't know, like just an area. And so there's little changes. We kind of talked about that. There's no turret over there. I don't know if that's something that would get added later, but for the most part, like if you know Valhalla, you know this map. And yeah, no, I'm excited to play on this map more. I'm excited to play on Overlord more. Both seem like really fun maps. And you know, this is just a project that I'm going to be following kind of as they continue to do updates. I'll probably try and make videos every time they have a big patch that's out and kind of keep you guys in the loop, because I know a lot of you probably aren't able to get in and test it yourself. But if you want to check it out, go and apply. I don't necessarily know if they're accepting more people right now, but I'll link their Discord and their website in the description below, and you guys can go in there and chat with them if you want and kind of try and get into the next round of flighting or however they're going to do it. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it wasn't some super great showcase of the game itself. It's a little bit harder to kind of hop into lobbies and get games going and stuff like that. But yeah, the game's in early alpha, so there's tons of little things that are going to be improved over time. But it's just cool to see a Halo fan project. Not only is it playable, but it's continuing to get updates. You know, we saw it drop a few months ago and there was some buzz around it and everything, and then it kind of fell away from the public forums a bit. But you know, maybe with each of these updates it'll come back up a little bit, get people talking about it, and that's all I want it to do. I just want to make sure people are aware that Contingency is still getting updates, and hopefully eventually this game goes public for everyone and we can all play it together. But as always, guys, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. If you want to catch me live, I stream over on Twitch Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday nights, and you can also follow me on Twitter. With that said, I'll see you all next time.